Alrighty, today we're going to be doing mop buckets and mopping. So here's a quart labeled mop bucket. For quarts, you do 2 pumps right into this little thing here, and then you'll open this valve, grab the tube, and you'll turn the water on. That way you can start to fill the bucket up. Once you start to fill the bucket up, you can grab the 2 squirts that you did and throw them in the bucket. Make sure they're bubbling up, and you can give it a good mix. And you'll make sure to only be using green, blue, or orange for the quarts. To insert a mop head, you'll slide it on in, close the lever. Then you'll want to tighten this all the way up until you can't tighten it anymore. Give her a good tug, and after you give her a good tug, you'll know that she's secure. So red is only for the bathrooms and for the floors. Next, we're going to cover what everything is. So pink is for bathrooms, purple is for the gray areas, 910 is for food-related items, and 730 is for tabletops, counters, and everything else that needs to be wiped down. Using the wall, you just point the arrow at what you want and press the button. Just make sure that the tube that is attached to it is open. So here the water needs to be turned on, press the button and it comes out. All right, so we're gonna fill up a purple for the gray area. So we'll only put in about, until you can cover the bottom, and then you'll want to use the rest with water. Just fill that on up until it reaches the top. In any area you're mopping, you're gonna wanna make sure to sweep thoroughly first. Not only because it's gonna increase the cleanliness, but also it's very annoying to get trash stuck in your mop heads. And for bathrooms, you're gonna wanna make sure you put at least a quarter of the bottle of Pine Sol in your mixture, or along with the pink, just to make sure you get that extra clean smell. We add Pine Sol to make the restrooms smell better, and it definitely is needed because these are bathrooms for all ages, and some of us are a little less experienced in using the restroom. And that's not just for children either. We have lots of adults that leave disgusting things in these bathrooms, so you wanna make sure that you dip your mop head in the bucket thoroughly. Again, for the gray areas, this is gonna be the purple juice that we use. You make your sweep thoroughly, and you're gonna wanna make sure you move stuff out of the way to make sure you can hit every area. So just moving something over, mopping there, and then moving it back is the best way to do it. This is our most challenging and biggest gray area. Once again, using our purple juice, you have to fill up all the tables, sweep around them, and then remove these ramps. These ramps are pretty heavy, so if you need help, no shame in asking, but you gotta make sure that you sweep them and then mop under them. This area is used very often by the school, and during the summertime, it's still used by kids that are here for tournaments or just here for birthday parties. So this area always really needs a deep clean and a good sweep. And then after you're done, you can just replace the mats back where they were. This is our front gray area, and it's important to note that we love to do these areas whenever there aren't people around to avoid people walking, because these are the areas that people are walking in the most. So here we have a teacher come in here in a sec. No big deal. Obviously, we just mop behind her when she leaves, but this is just an area we like to do when alone. This is our most cluttered area for sure. You have to make sure you fold up all of the chairs and these tables. Also, quick note, I noticed that Ethan isn't wearing a staff shirt, so I beat him up and then I make him put his staff shirt on. Make sure you're wearing your staff shirt. Anyways, you want to get behind the tables, fold up all the chairs, and then move them back once you've hit them. It's also important when behind these tables to sweep pretty good, because it's not often that we get to really deep clean like this. So it's important to move the chairs, move the tables, sweep, and then mop, and then put them back. And then while one of you is mopping, the other one can sweep under all the chairs to see if there's any areas that need to be mopped as well. Back to our front area. This is putting all the tables back where they were. And this is also what you have to do for the mountain area. I had just forgotten to record. You're gonna make sure you grab your 730 disinfectant and wipe down all the tables that you just mopped around, because again, this is where kids and young ones will pick their nose, wipe their boogers, and just leave all kinds of messes, spills, and drinks. Finally, getting to quarts, you're gonna wanna make sure that you dust mop every quart that you mop by going all the way down and all the way back, and then giving it a shake. This is the most effective way to do it. Now, when mopping, I like to find 2 lines that I go between and just make my way down the quart. It's also better to do with a partner. This alone took me like 30 minutes. It's pretty tiring, but you have to make sure that you do a good job. So if you come across a spot that needs a little extra love, you gotta stay there and scrub it for a little bit. And if you still can't get it up, it's okay, because afterwards you can come by with a gum scraper or a spot mop and hit it on its own. Again, make sure you use the proper mop head and the proper bucket for quarts. This is just an example of something that obviously the mop can't get. It's a piece of gum, so you just go find your gum scraper, grab you a cup, and you can pop it on in there. All right, no voiceover for this one. Just gotta get this right. Pink and Pine Sol, bathrooms only, exclusive. Pine Sol, pink, bathrooms. That's it. It's the only area you use Pine Sol in. For the quarts, will be the bucket, the big white bucket. 2 pumps and water. That's it. Green mop head, blue mop head, orange mop head. That's it. No red mop head, but make sure you use the correct bucket, that is labeled bathroom or quart. 9-10, food related things. So the popcorn machine, the hot dog machine, the chili holder, the cheese holder, the fridge, the microwave, food related things. If you've eaten it, 9-10. And then 7:30 is for countertops, tables, everything in between, anything that needs to be disinfected. That is it. So again, red mop heads for everything except for the quarts. Make sure you use the correct bucket, please.